And how should brands be thinking about that? I mean, I know this is going to depend a lot upon the industry. If you're in fashion, fitness, maybe TikTok, you should definitely be looking at that. But overall, how should you be thinking about it? And how do you start to test these different platforms?
It still starts with the same stuff, like who is your genuine audience and like what's the problem your product solves? Like there's brands I've worked with the last 12 months, like they're cool brands, but like they just sell a product. They don't solve anything. They just have a cool product and it's like, yeah, but what's your USP? You know, we're seeing a resurgence in forums and little communities like Reddit, obviously is integrated to search now, but I think that then allows you to start saying, cool, within that, like what's the problem they want solving? So like I had a garden client recently that invested loads and loads of effort and time building out static content. And it sounded really obvious, but I was like, no one is reading like an article about how to grow rhubarb in that 2,000 word article. Like they're just not. They want like a small TikTok reel or something that's like, cool, do this, that they can then take to the greenhouse and follow straight away. Doing that research up front allows you to understand the types of platforms and then the types of like content you need. And then the SEO hat comes on and goes, cool, like what's that search? People also ask, is it videos? Is it like owned by forums? Is it informational content? Is it categories, etc.? And then cluster that. You can use obviously tools like Keyword Insights to cluster at scale, but just test and refine things. I think the other part of this is there are some instances when if you just look at some of the brands, the biggest growth they've had is just by doing things that aren't SEO related. What I mean by that is like, hey, some of the coolest brands I know that have seen good growth from like a brand perspective, which has then helped them get links pretty much easily. They've just been out there on social, right? Like, do you remember the days when Paddy Power used to like go and block ports and do like stunts and stuff that had nothing really to do with SEO? But as a byproduct, those campaigns got brand awareness and they got links because people were like, hey, have you seen what they've done? Have you seen this? I think that's the other part is like doing those non-SEO type things on platforms like TikTok and owning that space naturally do have an impact on traditional search.
So we can no longer rely on just working the algorithm, getting organic traffic and selling our product. We have to differentiate and brand build. And that is a difficult thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's, you know, if you look at, I remember when I first started, I was like, cool, I think it's going to be about like the search is about like authority brands and that's through like traditional link building stuff. I think like as SEOs, we ruin every tactic, right? Like we generally kill every tactic. Google comes out and says, no, that's now like against guidelines. And then there's a new tactic and so it's just a vicious circle. But like, I do think now, because of how vast platforms are and how easy it is to spin up brands and affiliate sites and all that sort of stuff, I think now people, like customers specifically, like, which are the brands I can actually trust?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Want to attract and convert more leads? Want to learn how digital PR, branding, and SEO can establish and build your brand identity? Welcome to the Market Movers Building Brands and Links with Linkifi podcast.